What's up, guys? It's your boys Awoki, back at it with more of Chris Watts Island. We're continuously going down the rabbit hole of everything, the evidence, the pointing the fingers at both sides, because apparently there's people that still believe a whole 100% that Nichol Kessinger is not guilty. But somehow, some way, more stuff has been surfaced. And looking at the channel, Watts the Obsession, great channel, love the channel. Go over to her channel, watch her old stuff, watch her new stuff. Definitely give her a chance. She's at 40,000 subscribers, but I definitely love her content. But she has brought forth a Chris Watts lost letter. Pretty much this letter is stating that pretty much if anything happens to him or the girls, to start looking at Shanann. Seems kind of like a fail-safe kind of letter that he had in motion if plans went south. But also, we're going to be taking a look at Nichol Kessinger, of all people again. But she has never once pretty much brought up the other woman. She was the other woman. Shanann was the main woman, the wife, the family, or the mother of the children. But Nichol Kessinger always said the other woman, or she, or her, or Chris Watts' wife. She never said Shanann. But in this interview, she says something, and she says Shanann's name, but it doesn't go very right. Hand gestures, things start to get very weird. So with that being said, grab a chair, grab some popcorn. Not because of grabbing popcorn, I gotta make this very clear, because it's not popcorn because we're enjoying the murders. We're enjoying the exposure of Nichol Kessinger and how she should be brought to justice. But also, if you guys could do me a solid favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I am so blessed and thankful for all of you guys. You guys are killing it with the subs, the likes, the comments. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to keep up with all the comments, but they're overwhelming. So I do apologize if I haven't gotten to your comments, but keep them coming. I can't thank you guys enough. We're trying to get to 30K by Christmas, but our main goal is to get 100. But I can't do it without you guys. So with that being said, let's get into these two videos from Watts the Obsession. One, Shanann has been finally named or voiced from Nichol's mouth, and the letter that apparently was lost, but somehow was brought forth as a possible scapegoat if Chris was taken out. Weird. Let's take a look.
What exactly do we know about the short note that was written by Chris Watts on
So it's like 6 to 7 days before the murders took place. Weird.
August 6th of 2018 that says, "To whom it may concern. If anyone gets this letter, I would never do anything to hurt myself or my children or my wife. If anything happens to me, please investigate my wife." And then it's signed by Chris Watts.
Interesting.
So what do we know about the timeline surrounding this letter or before this letter? Well, we know that Chris Watts and Shanann Watts took a trip to San Diego to go on one of those trips for Lavelle, selling that product Thrive, that product that they sold, from June 22nd to June 26th. And then Shanann got home to Denver, picked up her kids, her dad turned right around on a plane and went across the country to North Carolina, where she planned to stay through the middle of August. Well, we know that according to Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger's accounts at least, that they started talking in the beginning of June 2018. But it was that first night that Shanann was away from the house on June 27th that Chris Watts went over to Nichol Kessinger's house and stayed the night. After that, as we know, their love affair was like flames ablazing, hearts and sparkles all over the place. They were together all the time, staying at one of their house, or rather he was staying at her house all of the time, and the two seemed to be inseparable.
Please don't make me throw up.
About a week and a half into the physical relationship between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger, from what we know at least, was
Just
the event
kills you.
known as Nutgate. Now, I'm making a video right now. It's in production. It's going to tell the entire story of Nutgate, so I'm not going to get into it in too much detail right here. But what we do know is on this date, Shannan accuses her mother-in-law, Cindy Watts, of allowing Cece to have some food product.
Peanuts.
The stories always change. That's why I'm being vague. Let's say it's vanilla ice cream, because I've heard that a few times, that contained tree nuts in it. Therefore, the assertion was that Cindy Watts, Chris' mother, Shanann's mother-in-law, the grandmother of Bella and Celeste, was putting Cece's life in danger.
She didn't care.
From
apparently.
there, a whole series of events started to spiral out of control, and let's listen to what Chris Watts has to say about this series of events.
Just felt like, I don't know, it was more anger than anything else. Like, there was emotion to it at first, and then it just felt like it was just anger. It was just like,
Can we really believe what he says,
there
though?
was no love there. We didn't know, like, it wasn't ourselves.
Really? Anger from you or anger from her?
I think it was more anger from me and more like desperation from her to, she knew something wasn't right. Like, you know, like when that whole thing with my parents happened with my parents called it Nutgate.
What happened?
Nutgate.
What's Nutgate?
The peanut.
Oh, yeah.
Bowl or whatnot.
Oh, with her family?
Yeah.
Pistachio ice cream or whatever. it was.
Yeah,
Oh.
somebody called it Nutgate.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah. Like that was like another out. Like, you know, maybe I could have just like stopped everything with Nikki and just kind of concentrated on helping like whatever happened there. Because Shannon had a story, my mom had a story. Like, I don't know, whatever happened, I probably asked my 10-year-old nephew. Probably can tell me what actually happened.
Well, and they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
Yeah.
They didn't like each other.
I didn't talk to my parents from then on until like August 6th.
6 days
Like, you know,
before.
my dad took that whole week off.
you didn't talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like Shanann was like, do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
So based on what Chris Watts said there, we know that from July 8th was when Nutgate happened, well, to when Chris Watts arrived in North Carolina. He wasn't allowed to see his family, according to him, his parents. The kids weren't allowed to see his parents until August 6th. So what happened on August 6th? We know that he saw his family on August 6th, and we also know that this note was authored, according to the penmanship
By
here,
him.
on August 6th. So let's listen to something that Jamie Watts says in one of her prison phone calls with Chris Watts. This is a very emotional part of the phone call, and notice what she mentions here.
Exactly.
So it can always change. So, but our love for you will never change.
So this is sister.
It means a lot to hear everybody say that.
We mean it.
But I have no empathy. I don't have any emotions for Chris. He did this to himself. It's not like he accidentally fell asleep at the wheel and took the lives of his family, and he's in prison because he had a sleeping pill and he killed his family, and now he's in for manslaughter. This man literally physically put his hands and smothered them, smothering and throwing them in oil and burying them. And I still don't get it why the family is just like, oh, he's so innocent. We love him. I understand that he's family, but there's a certain line you cross. And I think murder would be I'm trying to put myself in that same shoe. If my son committed murder, I still love my son. And God always tells us, I'm not trying to bring religion because for some people that don't believe it and so forth like that, trying to tend to both sides. God tells us to forgive. And I'm just on the fence about murder because murder is taking a life, taking a soul away from this earth. And it's unforgivable. For me, that's unforgivable. I don't necessarily think I would be able to even talk to my son after he took the lives of his family. I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I don't know what do you guys think? Would you still talk to your family member, your daughter, or your son that committed murder? I mean, the way he did it, he showed no remorse, no care, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you guys, I love you. I'm so glad that you guys are here." It was his actions. He did it. It doesn't make sense.
We really mean it. So, that's what love is. You know, that's what it is.
Well, he said he loved his girls too, but look what happened to that.
I really wish I could go back to Mom's porch.
I know, me too.
And just keep you. I really wish I could just go back there and keep you.
Me too, trust me.
I feel like God gave us that day.
We did.
Now, it only makes sense that that day on Mom's porch that she wishes she could return back to, and she just wants to keep her brothers, she says here, would be August 6th, because Chris Watts had told us that he wasn't allowed to see his family until August 6th. And we know that the Watts family headed home from North Carolina to Frederick, Colorado the very next day on August 7th. So what exactly happened? What conversation went down between Chris Watts and his parents and his sister and whoever else
So much
may have been
drama.
there that caused him to write this note and to leave it in his mother's care? We may never know. Leave a comment down below
Or is
and let
it
me know what you
faked?
think. And keep on a lookout for that full-length Nutgate documentary, which is
I'm
going to be
definitely gonna
coming
watch
out
that.
very soon. I'm sorry, documentary. Documentary. You've all taught me well. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you.
But the big thing too, make sure you guys go give her some love. Subscribe, watch her old stuff, watch her new stuff. She does a whole bunch of cases too. I'm getting into cases, but definitely check her out as well. Now, where did this note come from? When did it come from? Who did it come from? Like, did it come after the murders? Was it found while the police were there? Did Cindy Watts be like, "Oh, I had this and then my son told me to give this to you guys"? I mean, it also depends on the delivery when it was shown. Is Chris Watts the penmanship? Don't they have that CSI thing where they can compare the writing from this one to like give him something to write on, and then look at this I, look at that K, look at that W, and then look at the same thing over here, and like see his signature. I mean, is this even from him? I mean, it just looks like something like a scapegoat stating that, "Oh, I'm the victim. I had to take her out before she took me out." I'm guessing that's what he tried to do. But again, the reason why he took his family is because he was thinking with the wrong head. And instead of divorce, like we mentioned, he took the lies, which make no sense. There is a video I'm going to be posting here very soon where there's a couple people that I've been talking to on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter about a possible motive. And this motive came definitely very well. So we're going to take a look at that here very soon. But the last one I want to take a look at is the Watts mistress shocking hands, something with her hands, when Tammy Lee talks about this, which this man or this woman should have been investigating this woman. I feel like a woman and a woman would be more intimidating than a man and a woman. So a woman and a woman should have been doing that. But again, let's take a look at see what this one is all about. What do her hands say when she says Shanann's name for the first time? Also, I'll post something in the description for what Nichol Kessinger's dad, Dwayne Kessinger, does with his hands, possible signing with his hands. Again, for those that haven't watched it, take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think, because they know some type of possible thing that might be going on that we don't know. So take a look at that video, but let's continue.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Okay.
He went to North Carolina and he was trying to rehab his marriage with his wife.
He said.
Do you know her name at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay saying her name?
It's Shanann.
All right. And do you know the children's name?
Yes, it's Bella and Celeste.
Okay.
Why
She
do
went by-
this?
They called her Cece. All right. So he went to. Were they in North Carolina
They were already
already?
there.
If you want something.
I don't know if my stomach can do that. Yeah, they were already out there. He just flew out there to meet up.
Did you know why they were there?
They're all from there.
Okay, so they were there
They
for.
were visiting her family for the most part until he got there, and then they still were.
I still think she took care of the kids. Like, took them
This
out.
video excerpt is from the August 16th interview.
Not to pause it, because you guys want me to stop so you guys can hear her. But when you do this, it's like you want to choke. It's like you want to grab them and twist. And you do this because you want to Shannan, like you're just pissed, you're angry. That's what I'm getting from before I watch this, is when you do this, like when I talked about my ex, I was always like, my ex. You do this like because you want to like pop, strangle, whatever have you. You get my gist. So I'm guessing that's what we're going to be looking at. So let's continue. And I do believe this is the only time that she actually says her name, Shannan. But in a recent interview, like a newer interview than this, she said she didn't know her name too, as well, which I kind of saw that in a different interview. But let's continue.
Of Chris Watts' former mistress. Now, the audio portion of this video had been available for 3 years since the initial discovery was released, but it was only recently, in April of 2022, was the video portion of this interview released, and that was only after a YouTube creator put some pressure on the district attorney's office.
Oh, snap. Beautiful woman. What was he thinking? I myself
In my
rather have
profession,
Shanann.
I observe and analyze behavior. One thing that we know is that 80% of human communication is nonverbal. That means communication happens through body language, through facial expressions, through the way a person holds their posture. A good example of the importance of this nonverbal communication is when Chris Watts was interviewed on his porch the day after his family went missing.
That one makes me sick.
In this case, his facial expressions, his micro expressions, were absolutely not matching what he was saying or what, a person would be
Thank
feeling
God
or
for that woman.
experiencing when their whole family disappeared and they've been gone for over a day. We also see examples of the importance of nonverbal communication in the trial that's going on right now between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. What I'm getting at here, guys, is a specific movement Chris Watts' former mistress makes, a nonverbal communication, if you will, when Agent Coder asks if she knows Shanann's name. Now, this shady
She looks at the
empanada
camera a
has managed
lot.
to get through hours of interview
She's the
without saying Shanann's
Shady
name.
empanada.
Agent Kobach has to ask her again, specifically, can you say her name? The first time she says Shanann's name, look at what she does with her hands.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Okay.
He went to North Carolina and he was trying to rehab his marriage with his wife.
He
Do
said.
you
he
know
was-
her name at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay saying her name?
It's Shanann.
All right.
You only do that when you're pissed off with somebody or like you're
Yeah.
angry or...
Are you okay saying her name?
It's Shanann.
All right. And
It's Shanann.
all right. And,
What the flip, man? I couldn't even say it.
Chris, while he was talking to Agent Coder, made a lot of movements towards his neck area, says Tammy Lee.
Special Agent Coder actually came out of the room
Man, I need to be into...
and he said he may have strangled her.
So if the... I mean, this looks like... kind of thing. So if Agent Coder could determine Watts likely strangled his wife from touching his neck. I don't know if this, like, does anything. I mean... I don't care how he did it. I just want justice. I mean, we do care how he did it, but what would Special Agent Coder have to say about the Mistress' hands I want to see what they say.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Okay.
He went to North Carolina and he was trying to rehab his marriage with his wife.
He
Do
said.
you
he
know
was-
her name at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay saying her name?
It's Shanann.
All right. And do you know the children's name?
Why would you do this? It's like
She went by, they called her Cece.
the stunning hand movements are alarming, but what's more damning is the mistress are layers of lies she told. Exactly, and she's not investigated.
Yeah, it's like right off the highway.
To learn more about her lies, shading people asking questions, check out playlist Watts Mistress Loves to Lie. Check it out, it's pretty good.
Do you know the street name?
No, I would have to like drive around.
It just seemed like he had so much going on, and it was just beautiful that I was like, why don't you just try this out, you know?
Into it, and I did not like it. Did not want to go back.
It is well known that Incase phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado 3 times. The third ping happened at 6:16 on August 13th, the morning of the murders, the day Shanann, Bella, and Cece went missing. You can tell me all the whatever have you. She was there. She helped.
Recall where the house was.
I think physically.
It's like right off the highway in Frederick.
I don't know how much more you can get into this.
I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out again if I like really had to. Like off the top of my head, no.
What do you think this means?
No. I would have to like drive around in there to get there.
Interesting. Very. From Discovery, the limit records of Miss Kessinger's Google searches tell us that she's been searching her for almost a year, if not more. After evening with Watts Kessinger search, Ronnie Watts, Shanann Watts. Wow. We also know that Miss Kessinger demanded Chris Watts prove his location the morning of August 13th. True. Which was very weird in itself. Apparently there's cameras out there. Chris Watts was at Survey 319. Did anyone else know what he was doing there? Putting his daughters in the tomb. Well, I don't think he did. I still think it was Nichol. Because they did say that they saw or found throw up. Like over by where Shanann was dug up and stuff like that. And then they said they found throw up over here. They didn't say exactly where, but there's quite a bit of throw up. Her away. Took all of them away. So definitely very interesting when it comes to the hands. I never really like got into it to look to see your hands, but I think what I got to do too is like I need to start watching people's hands, their mannerisms more. I mean we're taught to watch certain things in the military and everything, but like when we're watching investigations, like when we're watching murder mysteries and stuff like that, you really got to watch the hands, watch the eyes, watch the smirks on the face and stuff like that. But like I never noticed when she does this, like she wants to choke Shanann because she was pissed off with Shanann, when it should be the other way around. Shanann should be mad at you for taking away her family, because she could have gone and found one of the 4 billion guys out there and dated them. Why did she have to find married men? And I heard too that after this whole situation, she found another married man. Another one. And she, in the past, she found another married man and stabbed the wife in the back. This woman needs to be locked up. I'm telling you what, it just doesn't make sense why she is free. But for those that need or are new here, make sure you guys subscribe. Comment about the letter. Do you think that is Cindy Watts? Do you think it is Chris Watts? Do you think it's a scapegoat or whatever have you? Also, when it comes to her hands, what do you think she's actually like representing when she does this? I think it's like crushing, choking, stuff like that. I mean, definitely insinuates, and I'm surprised that the police haven't even hit on that. So, with that being said, comment down below, hit the like button, because we want justice for the girls, and there's some people that are like, the justice is done. Chris is locked up. It's over with. It's just let it go. You can't let it go, because a woman is walking free after how much damage she did, and she's just, not my problem. It is her problem. And I guarantee in the future, if she doesn't get judged now, she will be judged later on, and you know who I'm talking about. So again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.